Stay up out the way, don't get your issue splat. Stop letting this shit slide and get your lick back. And get your lick back. I feel like I'm JX.
J-Way.
I'm a perfectionist. Adderall got me restless.
I'm gone.
Run with a wild crew, they get reckless. Young boy, come up off that neck.
Give me
Into
that.
the trends. See a lead, be the band.
Welcome to Bleachers and Speakers. I'm your host, June, and wow, that was brutal, Foster.
Got a packed house in here today.
I see. First off, while we have a packed house, make sure you subscribe to Bleachers and Speakers on YouTube and follow us on all the aggregators. That's anywhere you can listen to a podcast. You can hear me and B. Foster. Just type in Bleachers and Speakers FFSN in your search. Download those episodes. Foster, that was brutal. That was just brutal. It's not what I expected. I don't mind the loss, but I can't stand a beatdown. Can't stand one.
Oh, we scored.
Not that it matters or anything. I think the game was over in the first half, the way it looked.
Tesla. Oh my God.
Foster, our biggest fears were shown. The interior line, evident, very
Nasty
evident.
Nasty.
Nasty work. Nasty work. We looked bad. Gibbs couldn't get anything. I think he had a 14-yard run, but that was about it. And he got that on the edges. So the offense sputtered because of the offensive line. We could not protect. They were getting pressure up the middle. It was just, and we couldn't run the ball. Defense couldn't hold anything in the first half. It looked really dark for our D-backs in the first half. No pass rush in the first half, none. Also, I think a lot of it attributes to, rustiness. It's going to take Hutch a couple games to get back into the groove, but he can't do it alone. We need that other person. And Arnold took some, Arnold was getting torched in the first half.
Those Packers receivers, no matter who they are, they just find a way to be good. I don't really understand it. I mean, I guess they're the Packers for a reason, but yeah. I mean, I guess the beauty in all of this is that most of the problems that we did have were things that we kind of anticipated. We anticipated that the offense would be a little rusty because they didn't play in the preseason. We saw the same thing last year. You got to remember, we went 15-2, but we lost our second game of the year. And the first game was close. So out the gate, we were not in tip-top shape. And, the offense just never – it was tough to get the running game going. I think both Montgomery and Gibbs both averaged somewhere around 2.5 yards a carry. And it just put the defense in a situation to where they just had they didn't fear what the Lions were going to do. They got to be aggressive. Their pass rush was up our back. Parsons was going, Lucas Van Ness was going, Rashawn Gary. They were the better team all around in every aspect of the way.
Yeah, it looked bad. We didn't play well, and hats off to the Packers. They played exceptionally well, especially in the first half. They looked every bit of the part of the Kings of the North. That they could very well be up there. And one thing about it, though, we get to play each team twice, so there's a lot of opportunity for improvement. I'm just going to say that much. There's a lot of opportunity, but I will say this, Foster: if we don't show up that interior offensive line, it could be some issues. It could be some issues, but I'm confident that they'll get better. They have to be better than today, though. Today was not it.
It's got to go up from here.
It can't be worse. And I think the Green Bay does have a very athletic defense. They were all over the place. Uh, Golf didn't have his best day, but can you blame him with the pressure and not being able to run the ball?
Yeah, I mean, early in the game, he was doing a decent job of managing. I think he was 9 of 10. He didn't have a lot of there was no explosive plays the whole game. I think Laporta had the best game. He may have had some decently long pass receptions, but outside of that, it was like St. Brown, JMO, they both were just dink and dunk type situations, and we just couldn't get anything going. The crazy thing is we controlled the time of possession by far. We
Yeah.
just could not get in the end zone. It wasn't until the very end of the game that we did so. We had an interception late in the first half, and yeah, we just while we were kicking field goals, they were punching the ball in. They had it was very reminiscent of of that Thanksgiving game a couple of years ago where they drove down the field with a couple long passes and got in without any problems. That's what you saw out of Detroit last year. Not so much maybe against Green Bay, but just in general. So yeah, like you said, we got to be better. And I think that there's going to be some growing pains coming from that young interior. It's just they need to get it together because we have a tough outside of this game, which was inevitable, a road game against Green Bay because they're in our division, but we got some other tough road games that are not going to be pushovers as well. So we got to get it together. If we have any hopes of a successful season. Getting a little far ahead, but
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, early loss, and like I said, I don't mind losing. I just don't like getting their teeth kicked in, and that's what happened today.
absolutely.
Up front, just lost the battle in the trenches. Defensive line, we stopped the run pretty much in the first half. Well, we were pretty good against the run all game, but
We were in the second half. They started to kind of wear us down, but
how long
overall,
do you expect the defense to stop the run? Like, and when you stop in the run, you got to get off the field on third down, and they didn't do that in the first half. So eventually, those holes will open. If you know what I'm saying, especially if you're playing with a lead, eventually, your defense gets to where, like you mentioned, the defense starts to wear down and they start to gash us. Jacobs is going to get his yards. But defensively, those third down conversions in the first half hurt us. It was a lot they gave up. Stat line for Jared Goff, 31 for 39, 225 yards, one touchdown, one interception. There was a late touchdown, so didn't seem like that would be in the stat sheet. However, 4 sacks. 4 sacks. And I don't think the Lions had any sacks today. No sacks.
we didn't really have any pressures until the second half. We got to love a little bit in the second half, but hey, the folks that were clamoring for us to draft an edge, for us to sign Zadarius Smith, I ain't got no smoke with you.
None. I have nothing to say. I mean, but we were on that bandwagon too. We wanted Zadarius Smith. It's not like we were, but yeah.
And I think we got a little high off the gas of the Aiden Hutchinson return because you started seeing the impact. And of course, this is the first half of football that any of these starters have played since January. So right. I don't want to make excuses for them, but I have to believe this is probably the worst. I hope this is the worst we look all year. I mean, there wasn't too much to take out of this game and feel good about, honestly, outside of outside of the run defense. Outside of the run defense, that's about it. The run defense looked pretty good. Secondary,
First
Bob,
half, they look bad.
yeah. It's early, yeah.
Early, they look bad.
Oh.
DJ Reed played better in the second half, of course. It just, man, it was just a bad day. A bad day at the
It
office.
was hard to watch.
Yeah.
That shit was hard to watch from at any given. I think maybe I felt good at the beginning of the third quarter because I think I think what happened? We charged down, we kicked the field goal, we got a good tackle on the kickoff return, and then I think we got a stop, maybe. I want to say we got a stop immediately after that. 3 and out. So I was like, okay. I felt pretty good at that point.
We couldn't get over that hump. Like,
Yeah.
if you do this right, I think the score was like 17-3 at half. If you go down and you score a touchdown, it's 10-17. It's a whole different ball game.
Absolutely.
And you get that 3 and out, it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah. And
Sure.
I think what did it for me, what I realized this wasn't our day was when now this is another pivotal situation that changes everything. Anzalone drops a ball off the fingertips, but when you're on, you make that catch. And then the Brian Branch has a pick six. They call first they called the
hold,
the hold, which he undressed him. So
yeah,
you got to buy him dinner. Got to buy him dinner before you do all that to the guy.
Yeah, it was a legit call.
And this was due to, I want to say Arnold, because did he have groin issues at the top of camp, or was it last year I think he had the toe last year?
They held him out of practices for something this year.
I think it might have been the groin, but anyways, so they took his helmet, and that's the reason why Rock was in there. I want to say Rock is not a great cover corner, hasn't been for several years. So, we were looking forward to catching him at safety this year, not at corner, but yeah. So the hole was legitimate and was probably the only reason why Branch had that opportunity. And then it wouldn't have counted anyways. The touchdown anyways wouldn't have counted anyways because they called the unnecessary roughness on Hutch blocking Jordan Love. So that's when I knew
it's not our day.
Pack it up. We'll try it again next week. That ain't it.
Yeah. Wrap your wounds up. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. I was really like at the end of the third quarter. I'm like, yeah, this is not good.
It just didn't give you that vibe that things were going to turn. We were going to turn around. There was a glimmer of hope, and there was a time when it was like, okay, this is our opportunity. But what kills me is, like I said, time of possession. I think we had the ball 15 minutes longer than them, and it's all because we were able to, dink and dunk, 5 yards here, drop off to Montgomery. But when you hold the ball that long and you don't get in the end zone, you do yourself no justice, especially when the Packers can go down and, whip a couple 30-yard bombs and then boom, they're in the end zone. Like,
yeah, it was, oh man, they that first half, that air attack in the first half was crazy. It was crazy.
And I wanted, that was one of the main things that I wanted to see I need to see I want to see what they're talking about as far as Terrion Arnold. I needed to see that in a regular season game where it mattered. All that other practice stuff is cute, but I need to see it in real live time. And the Packers came in there and said, yeah, no, not today.
Yeah. They did what they had to do. They looked dominant. They looked legit. They beat us up on both sides of the ball. They controlled the line of scrimmage, and they ultimately won. They held down the fort at home. Salute to them. My hat's off. There's no excuses. We just have to be better. We were horrible today. Very horrible. And there's a lot of people that are happy. It's a lot of people that are happy.
I have not been paying attention.
Oh, it's a lot of happy people.
I've been ducked off.
You got to remember, Foss, we went undefeated in the division last year. We beat the Packers 6 out of 7, the last 7. It was bound to happen.
Matter of fact, Coogee called me. He called me at halftime. He's a Cowboys fan, though. But
why would he do that? Okay, see, this is what I'm talking.
Wisconsin, he's around. He was around some Green Bay cohorts. But
when I talk stuff to him about Green Bay last year, first thing, I'm not a Green Bay fan, but when they win, he's first one to call. That's just Busterism at its finest. I mean, what kind of sucker shit is that, man?
Hey.
It is what it is. Hold on, let's take a quick break. If you are watching, give us about 10 seconds. If you're listening, you're going to hear some wonderful ads. We will be right back. I see a packed house tonight, so I'm going to go ahead and advise everybody to subscribe to Bleachers and Speakers on YouTube. And that's just in case you miss a show. You can catch us there on our YouTube channel, and then you can follow us on all the aggregators. Anywhere you can listen to a podcast, you can find us, Bleachers and Speakers, FFSN, in your search. Hit that notification bell. Make sure you're following us and download those episodes. We like to know where they're coming from. Boss, who's the next game against?
Ooh.
And it's crazy, and I'm really upset because I have to work next weekend. I'm going to miss it.
Who is it?
I have no idea. I was just focused on game 1, and this is bad.
Oh, it's the Bears.
It's the Bears.
Yep, Sunday at 1 in Detroit.
Okay. We'll see.
I tell you what. They better come out guns a-blazing next week.
Oh, we can't play around.
I don't care what. All bets is off next week. Guns are blazing. If we don't lay a serious belt on Chicago next week, they gonna riot.
Yeah, can't go down 0-2
in the division at that.
Division as well. That's just. I'm in denial. I don't think it's gonna happen, man. I'm in denial.
You ain't got, man. Nah, man.
Can't happen.
It's gonna be interesting on Wednesday, especially if Chicago find a way to beat Minnesota. Boy, oh boy.
Oh yeah, he on. This is our week to host the NFC North, and I'm glad because it's gonna be mostly our fans. It's gonna be a couple of Chicago Bears sharing the stream, and we'll see how that goes. I'm not gonna be in defense mode. I'm just gonna be like, bring it on. It is what it is. I'm not gonna trip over one game. We got 16 more games, man. And we didn't say it was gonna be easy. I thought we would win today, but the biggest issue, the biggest concern was the interior offensive line, and they did not meet the expectations. Got to shore it up. I didn't
see a whole game. Gibbs was in there looking like.
Well, there was a point in time when Montgomery was getting here and there, but he had more tackles behind the line than he did past the line of scrimmage. I think at one point the announcer said Detroit had 15 tackles behind the line, and that was the most since Dan Campbell's been here.
Yeah, 15. I don't know if it was like hits or they were met in behind the line before they were able to get out the way. Like that was
like, what is going on? And I watched a couple of replays, and Gasclow look kind of he's no Frank
right now.
He's no Frank right now. No.
Yeah. No, far
from it. I mean, the drop was precipitous as far as production. It was like I didn't think it would be that bad, but it was pretty bad today. Which means there's opportunity for improvement. Like I'm gonna be optimistic. But today was horrible.
Yeah, that was tough, man. I like when you think about all the excitement we had in watching Lions football last year. I didn't get excited for just for anything. Not a pass breakup, not a 20-yard pass, nothing. Maybe a 20-yard pass. Laporta looked good.
Yeah, he's the only one. St. Brown had flashes. St. Brown was St. Brown. He had a couple good
catches on the sideline.
Yeah. So I wanted to see more J-Mo. I wanted to see, of course, you wanted to see more Gibbs, but man, it was tough sledding. Final 27-13. Lions score on a late touchdown. It was nowhere near as close as the score shows, even though it's not a close score. Still, it was an atrocious outing by our Lions. We have a lot of concerns, starting with that offensive line. Defensively, in that first half, we were horrible. I think they scored the first 3 possessions. Touchdown, field goal, touchdown. Was bad. Real bad. And one of the possessions looked really easy. It had 2 passes. And then went 8 seconds.
It was 2. Yeah. That's all it was. All it took.
2 passes.
That can't happen, man. That's way. It's not like they running around with Devontae Adams or Justin Jefferson like these guys, Romeo Dobbs come on, these dudes ain't cut like that. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, like none of that.
Maybe they like that, Foster.
Packers have always. When have they ever had a just god awful passing game? Like never.
It seems like no matter who they line up out there, they're productive. Always have been. But I gave that
this week.
I gave that credit to Aaron Rodgers because he made superstars out of anybody he had there. Brett Favre as well. But maybe they just like that, man. I won't pressure anyone else to go through this any longer. We won't prolong this. We got Sunday night football, 8:00. I want everybody all the Lions fans, I got a message for you. Let's reset, regather. Don't jump off the boat just yet. We had a bad game. It happens. We had a bad divisional game. It hasn't happened in a long time. We looked like we didn't belong. That hasn't happened in a long time. Just be patient. That's all I can say. I got an inbox, Foster. I'm not going to say who it was from. First thing they said was, we miss Ben.
I know who it is. Or I don't know, but maybe I have no idea, but
you probably do. And we both know. But I'm like, even with Ben, with that interior offensive line play, it wouldn't have mattered.
His name started with a K?
Yeah.
They like K. What name start with a K?
JK, yeah. No. I'm making a joke, but
right.
Yeah. I'm just saying. I just didn't like that. Like we miss men. Did you watch the game? We couldn't block.
Yeah, it did. And you know what? I kind of remember there were days early on in the game where even Ben Johnson's offense looked bland and kind of like non-spooky. Like, did you ever get the feeling like we tested them or they were their heels they were on their heels? Like
there was
I feel like everything,
where it looked good. We put the first 3 points on the board. We just got in the red zone and stalled. There was another drive where we threw the interception in the red zone.
We were kind of rolling there.
Those 2 drives were pretty good. It just ate up a lot of clock, and you only came up with 3 points out of those 2 drives.
And I feel like every time I looked up, it was 3rd and long. We could not get in favorable in we never converted first downs on like second down. It always took all 3 downs for us to convert a first down. And I
Yeah.
feel like they just the Packers, which is always, they were in control the entire time. And that was one of the main keys, is that we have to we need to limit the pass rush by keeping them on their heels, because they had Parsons on a pitch count. He only was out there when he was only out there in obvious pass situations, and
they gained the lead and put us in obvious pass situations. They pinned their ears back.
Yeah, that's the one thing. I thought that there was possibly a void. There was possibly a weakness in their interior, but I also aired on the caution that we have our own weaknesses on the interior. So is it really a weakness on their behalf if our interior isn't all together? And pretty obvious that we're not there yet. But I think there will be better days. But yeah, we are not going to go perfect in the NFC North. We may, yeah, that's quite evident at this point. But yeah, it's not going to be it's not going to be that type of season. It ain't going to be no 52 unless we just completely turn things around and are totally different than we played today. Yeah, it's not 15-2 is a very, very, very long shot. We can only lose one more game the entire year.
Yeah. But
the season is treacherous.
But we kept it. We kept it G. From before this game, we said 11-6, 12-5 was, the outlook because of the schedule. So it's still very much attainable. We just got to shore up that middle. And the defense has to play better for 4 quarters. I think they played good for a quarter and a half. And then neither one of those quarters was the first half. I think the third they played pretty good, and they played good for the half, the quarter, and the fourth.
Yeah, by the end of the game,
it's out of hand by there.
The Green Bay Packers, and this could have been them kind of taking their foot off the gas. But
they took their foot off the gas.
Yeah, the third down conversions was 4 of 10, which isn't horrible. But in the first half, I would have liked to see what it was, because it was probably like 4 or 5.
It was at a high clip, because it was like, wow, really? You gonna let them do this? It got to the point where I'm like, man, every third down they're converting, because they would run the ball on the first 2 downs and wouldn't be nothing. 3rd and 9, boom, 17 yards. 3rd and 8, boom, 16 yards.
So yeah, I mean the game plan. I mean part of the game plan defensively, we did kind of succeed in. I think Jacobs ended up with like 68 yards rushing. He 3.5 yards per carry, which isn't great. But he gouged us in the second half pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, Jacobs is going to get his. He's a workhorse. Gets stronger as the game goes along. And, defense gets worn down. They was out there a lot of plays. They did have opportunities to rest, because like I said, those long drives that we give the defense an opportunity to rest. But if you don't score, I don't think you fire the defense up at all. Like, you want to score and have your defense like, okay, they got us back in it, but it just wasn't that type of day. Foster, let's get out of here, man. I've had enough.
pretty smooth show.
Put a bow on this, Foster, so we can get out of here, man.
Hey, man, Lions fans, you just got to ride this one out. If there were ever naysayers, they're certainly poking their chest out right now, and that's okay. Just remember, regardless of how the next couple of weeks go, that we are the NFC North champs until further notice. We had the best record in all of the NFL, and a lot of that talent has been retained. There will be better days, but we got to take this one on the chin. They punch us in the mouth out the gate, and they sustain that success for the entire game, and that's what they were supposed to do. And right now, obviously, we're the first two NFC North teams to play. We set the tone. Well, we didn't set too much of any tone, but the Packers is the team to beat right now. We'll see what the Vikings and Bears are talking about on Monday, but we got some work to do, and we don't get any breaks. We don't have a bum team to play next week. We got another team within our division who is trying to prove themselves. This is going to be a very emotional, physical, personal game. We're going against our old offensive coordinator that even tried to pull the coordinator that we have now. So yeah, we got a lot on the line, and we can ill afford to go down 0-2. But I don't want to get too far into that. Just ride it out. Don't jump off. Don't listen to the naysayers. We are two consecutive NFC North champs. So that is not to be forgotten about just because we had a bad first game.
Yeah, definitely. I think we'll bounce back. We'll see. Subscribe to Bleachers to Speakers on YouTube.
Get your lick back. If a nugget gon' do something, ain't no chit chat. Better stay up out the way, don't get your shit splat. Stop letting this shit slide and get your lick back. And get your lick back. Get your lick back. If a nugget gon' do something,